Good morning. Welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba, Unable to Become Better and Thus Better Thyself. All the help books, all the life coaches advise you to be nice. But are you aware that being nice doesn't necessarily mean being nice to yourself? As a matter of fact, there are times when you are nice and being nice is going to hurt you. As a matter of fact, the reality is that all these life coaches, all these self help books mistake and confuse being nice with being kind. There's a lot of difference in the two, and being kind does not mean being nice. In reality, people, when they say they are being nice, and then they want some benefit out of that, some result out of that, whether it's promotion, whether it's admiration, whether it is adulation. People think that if they're nice, they should be canonized, they should be deemed saints, they should be deemed superhuman. And that enables them who are nice indiscriminately to hurt themselves in the long run. As a matter of fact, the reality is that nice can be good. It is at times good. But being nice indiscriminately gets in the way of your promotion, way of your success, and you are exploited. People who are nice at one time or the other wonder whether they needed a harder edge to get at. So I don't when I say don't be nice indiscriminately without any thought, I do not recommend that you bully, steamroll, coerce anyone to advance yourself. In fact, if you look at the people, the global leaders, whether in business, whether in social life, whether in politics, wherever, those people are the choicest specimens of humanity in kindness. And they're very genuine people. Being nice does not mean and should not mean being subservient. But that's what happens. And being mean did not mean paving your road to the top. No. The upward climb of all the successful people was the result of being great on their jobs. And being great on their jobs enabled them to earn respect. Being nice is seen very often as a show of humility. B, a show of being subservient and a refined form of flattery and psychophants. Some people even think that if you are extra nice, are nice without being proportionate, without being rational, it shows that you suffer from acute inferiority complex. And that's a fact. You may be thinking that I'm a good person, that I like being nice to the people. That's what you think. That's fine. But I like you to consider shifting your focus from winning approval through being nice and focus on the fact that you are respected. Does being nice earn you respect, or does it earn you ridicule? Does it earned you snide remarks. So, how to stop being nice indiscriminately? And mind you, I'm using the word indiscriminately repeatedly because being nice at times is good. So, you have to discriminate the circumstances where you have to be nice. You have to discriminate and differentiate the people with whom you should be nice, the place and the time. These are important things. So, what to do in such case? So that you are kind. As I said, kind is being great, but being nice is not. First thing you should do is stop trying to get everyone to like you. That's the biggest tragedy of the people. They want everybody to like them. They want it to be a popularity contest. Now, it's important to point out that kindness grows from self esteem and earns respect in return. Niceness comes from a desire for approval, which can result in mistreatment and can be taken advantage thereof. So, why should you be mistreated and why should allow you to take anybody else to take advantage of you? As I said earlier, kindness is good. It establishes a communication bridge between you and the people. And you will be kind if you have self esteem. And when you're kind, people respect you. But when you're nice, people will treat you as a doormat. If you're spending your day wondering whether your co-workers like you or how to get them like you, you're wasting your precious time. This desire to earn approval is an absolute sheer waste. But it's much more important that they respect you and have a good working relationship. When I was in corporate life, I was ensuring that people understood. I remember going to being invited rather some big corporate. He wanted to meet me, so I went there. The time was 4:30 p.m. I reached there, and they said, "Sir, can you wait for 5 minutes? He's busy in a meeting." I said, "What the hell are you talking about? 4:30 means 4:29:59 period, and I'm not going to wait." So I came back. Maybe I lost the business. But no, lo and behold, the guy comes after 3 days with the business that I was seeking. And he said, well, he was really sorry. He understood that I respect myself and he had to respect me and respect my organization. So if I had been nice, I would have taken a seat in the reception or in some other place and beating my fingers on the table. No, it's not done. All too often, I have seen people fixate on winning someone's approval as opposed to focusing on their own actual work. Well, if I do this, would my boss be happy? Would my workers say, wow, what a great man he is? And what happens is, in that case, you lose the attention and concentration. You are looking around how the people are reacting. Ignore them. It's immaterial how they react and how they approve. Do they like you or not? No. Focus your attention and then you'll be respected by the peers. They may not like you, but they'll respect you. But then you're not there for the Indian Idol or the US Idol contest that you need their votes. No. It's important to be respectful to your co-workers, to your colleagues, to your friends, to the people in general. So try to be kind, try to be helpful, But if you're focusing too much on being nice and well liked, you will notice the opposite effect. It becomes about you, not the work you are doing and how you are treating others. Let's be very clear. There's a saying in India that people like the work, the results, not your skin. So be sure. That's the first thing to do. Stop trying to get everyone to like you. Second, speak up if you disagree or think differently. Have you seen any shooting? If you've seen, you will see that is the rehearsal for the shooting of a movie. The rehearsal process focuses too much on everybody being agreement, trying to be nice and not wanting to step on other people's toes. The final production is going to be a disaster. If the rehearsal process difficulty is that if the people are challenging each other's ideas and they're engaging conversations about how they envision the final product, they will the movie is definitely going to be hit. The same applies to any collaboration, to any project they are working on. I remember I was GM of Hawkins pressure cookers, and we had to set up a new magazine. The title was in dispute. There were 15 titles, and I had given my own opinion. The chairman was in the favor of another title, and I saw everybody gearing up to that title. Not because they liked the title, but because the chairman liked it. And ultimately, the chairman said, "What do you think, Dr. Lamba?" I said, "No, you may have liked it, and these gentlemen may like the title because you like it, but I don't like it. I like this, X, Y, Z, whatever the name was." After about half an hour screen, the chairman said, "Well, I think what Dr. Lamba says makes a lot of sense. That title is better." And would you believe, all of them immediately said, "Yes, that's right. On the second thought, we think he's right." So, rock star employees should be willing to challenge and push their managers when the time comes. And they know they are right. That's important. If you're trying too hard to be liked, you're likely to be too afraid to share your ideas, even when you know they can be useful. And that's a disaster. Your ideas can be great, but if you don't speak up, they might differ from others. So what? So speak up if you disagree or you think differently. And do it not only for your sake, but for the sake of the team, for the sake of the organization, for the sake of business. Keep in mind that the top management and I am a CEO can we don't know everything. Our job is to collect at the top, to collect information and guide those who lead to a common goal or to a common outcome. If you know something to be addressed, what's your opinion? New ideas are born and change happens when constructive arguments are there. If there are no constructive arguments, they cannot be changed. Then you have to be resilient. Your idea may be great. You have stated your idea. You don't have to fight on that. You can argue, fine. So these are the first two steps. And the third, last step, stop taking everything personally. This is the corollary to the second. When you speak differently, people may not accept it. But don't accept, take the criticism. Don't take their criticism personally. Everyone can have a bad day, and sometimes that translates into bad behavior. Blast of anger that is commonly misdirected. I had a client once whose fuming boss made him very angry. And this guy received an angry call to him regarding a decision he had not actually made and he had not even participated. Years later on, the client was unable to shake the rotten feeling that the phone call had caused him. All the time he was thinking that the boys hated him. When in reality, what the boss wanted was a punching bag for his own emotions. So, years later, they met each other and the client finally got up the nerve and tell the boss that he was hurt when he called him. And the boss said, I don't even remember the call. So, turn to ignore. This one instance caused misery at work for years together. Forget things, don't take personally, whatever the thing may be. But that doesn't mean that you should accept insult. No, that's not being kind to yourself. You cannot control the emotions of other people. Now that's important, but you can control your reaction to them. Somebody is stupid, walk away rudely, turn your back. And if the worst comes to worst, tell them, okay, I respect you, but I expect to be respected in turn. We can disagree. I can be wrong, but that doesn't mean and doesn't give you a right to criticize my personality. You can criticize my ideas, my thoughts. Don't let others' bad behavior impact you. Let it go. Don't take it personally. As we always said, people say forget and forgive. I say no, don't do it. Just ignore it. If you cannot shake it, address the issue with the person as soon as you can after storm is over. The biggest takeaway is that even if someone has lashes out at you, it does not mean that they don't like you. Are you aware that you criticize those people whom you like a lot? I would criticize somebody for whom I care. Why should I criticize somebody for whom I don't care at all? Take that view that if somebody is criticizing you, the aim is to ensure that you are a better person. Not that the person hates you or despises you. Parents always tell their kids, behave in this manner. And that hurts the children at times, but then that's there. So if somebody is lashing at you, it doesn't mean that the person doesn't like you. It's definitely not worth your time evaluating their perceived feeling about you. Look at the content rather than the form. What is important is that people respect you, not that the people like you. It's as simple as that. The day you know that the people respect you is your day. If you're looking for liking, then you are mistaken. And the people should respect you for the work you do. And you should respect others for the work they do. If you feel you are not being consistently respected, then you need to have a conversation. And that's why you might have seen me on the Facebook. Even. Anybody makes a comment, personal comment on me, I immediately say, no, it's not acceptable. Being nice means now, try to understand. When I said don't be nice, being nice means you're watching yourself and constantly trying to please others. No, be kind, and if you're kind, do great work, respect others, and you will not only be valued, you'll be respected. Just being nice, and you're hurting yourself. Being kind, you are uplifting yourself and uplifting others. So, stop being nice indiscriminately, but be kind indiscriminately.